The day I heard those words, something inside me changed. It was a quiet Sunday morning, the kind where everything feels still. Sunlight slipping through the curtains, coffee brewing in the kitchen, and the woman I loved sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. We were a few months away from our wedding. I thought life was moving in the right direction. Calm, stable, and full of plans. My fiancée, Mia, had been on edge lately, talking with her mom more often than usual. I didn't mind. Families get nervous before big events. That morning, her phone rang, and she answered without realizing the call was on speaker. I was nearby, fixing something in the living room, half listening. Her tone was soft, almost reassuring. "Mom, don't worry. I'll stay with him until someone better comes along." For a moment, I froze. I thought I'd misheard her. The words echoed in my head like a bell I couldn't unring. Until someone better comes along. I stood still, staring at the floor, my heart pounding so loudly it drowned out everything else. Her mother's voice came through faintly, worried. "Mia, that's not fair to him." But Mia just sighed. "I know. But he's safe, reliable. You know? I don't feel the spark anymore, but I can't just walk away." It was like watching my world collapse in silence. I'd loved her for 3 years, through late-night hospital visits when her dad was ill, through job changes, through everything. I thought what we had was built on trust, not convenience. Yet in that moment, I realized I was part of a plan, not a partnership. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I stepped quietly into the backyard, needing air, needing space to think. My hands trembled as I tried to understand what I'd just heard. There was no anger yet, just disbelief. How do you process something like that from someone you were ready to spend your life with? After a while, she came outside looking for me. "You okay?" she asked lightly, still unaware that I'd heard everything. I looked at her, really looked at her, the same face I'd once imagined next to me for decades. "Yeah," I said slowly. "I'm fine. Just thinking about a few things." That day, I didn't say a word about the call. Instead, I watched her, the way she laughed, talked, moved. Everything felt suddenly unfamiliar, like I was seeing her for the first time without the filter of love. Over the next few days, I started pulling back, gently but clearly. I didn't initiate texts. I didn't make plans. When she asked what was wrong, I just said I needed space to clear my mind before the wedding. She seemed confused, maybe even annoyed, but didn't push too hard. A week later, I invited her for dinner at the small restaurant where we'd had our first date. The candlelight flickered between us, and she smiled nervously. "You've been distant," she said. "Is everything okay?" I nodded. "Yeah, I just realized something." I took a deep breath, then looked her in the eyes. "You deserve someone you can feel a spark with. And I deserve someone who doesn't see me as a placeholder until something better comes along." Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" she whispered. I reached into my pocket and placed her phone on the table. "Speakerphone works both ways," I said softly. "I heard what you told your mom last Sunday." The silence that followed was unbearable. She covered her face with her hands, tears welling up. "I didn't mean it like that," she said weakly. "I was just frustrated. I said something stupid." I sighed. "Maybe you didn't mean it, but you said it. And those words told me everything I needed to know about where your heart is." She cried quietly, whispering that she was sorry, that she'd been scared of settling down too soon, that she didn't realize how cruel her words had sounded. I listened, but something in me had already let go. It wasn't about anger anymore, it was about truth. We parted ways that night without a scene, no shouting, no accusations. Just a quiet goodbye between two people who finally saw each other clearly. It hurt deeply, but it also felt like peace. I didn't deserve to be loved halfway, and she didn't deserve to live a lie. Months later, I heard she had started therapy, working through her fear of commitment. I respected that. As for me, I began rebuilding, not just my confidence, but my sense of self-worth. I learned that love should never feel like waiting in line for someone else's better option. Now, when I look back, I don't feel bitterness. I feel gratitude. That accidental phone call saved me from years of pretending. It taught me that honesty, even when it hurts, is better than comfort built on illusion. Sometimes the hardest truths are the ones that finally set you free, and that day, I finally walked away into mine.